I still remember the exact moment my world tilted on its axis. It was a warm Sunday evening at my parents' house. The kind of family dinner where everything feels safe, until it doesn't. I was in the kitchen helping Mom with the dishes when I heard her voice drop to a whisper. She was talking to my older brother, Ethan, a Navy SEAL who had just returned from deployment. I wasn't supposed to hear it, but the words cut through the air like ice. "She's our family embarrassment, Ethan. I don't know how much longer I can pretend." My heart stopped. Because I knew exactly who she was. Me. My name is Carol. For years, I had been the black sheep in a family that valued discipline, honor, and perfect appearances. Dad was a retired Marine. Ethan was a decorated SEAL. And me? I was the daughter who chose a different path. The one who didn't follow the family tradition of service in the way they expected. I stood there frozen, water running over my hands, as Mom continued in that hushed, disappointed tone. "She's loud. She's opinionated. She asks too many questions. Always has to be different. I love her, but she's become an embarrassment to this family." Tears burned in my eyes, but I didn't move. I wanted to hear what my brother would say. Ethan had always protected me growing up. He was my hero. Surely he would defend me. Instead, he stayed quiet for a long second. Then came the reply that shattered everything I thought I knew about my family. I heard him choke out a short, stunned laugh and say, "Carol. She runs my unit." The plate I was holding slipped from my fingers and crashed into the sink. Silence fell over the house like a heavy curtain. That was the moment I realized my entire life had been built on a lie. I walked into the living room like a ghost. My hands were still wet. My heart was pounding so hard I could barely breathe. Mom's face went pale when she saw me. Ethan looked like someone had just punched him in the gut. "Carol," Mom started, her voice trembling. But I couldn't speak. All those years of feeling like I was never enough came rushing back. The subtle comments. The comparisons to Ethan. The way they'd dismiss my achievements because they weren't military enough. I had joined the Navy too, but I chose intelligence and strategy over combat roles. I worked my way up quietly, relentlessly, becoming one of the youngest unit coordinators in my command. And apparently, I had become the boss of my own brother's SEAL team without anyone in the family knowing. Ethan rubbed the back of his neck, looking more uncomfortable than I'd ever seen the tough SEAL look. "Sis. I didn't know you were standing there." Mom's eyes filled with regret, but it was too late. The words had already done their damage. We worry about you, honey. You've always been so headstrong." Headstrong. That was their polite word for difficult. For not fitting the mold. I felt betrayed by the two people I loved most. The mother who raised me and the brother I idolized. They had been talking about me behind my back like I was some family failure, while in reality, I was the one signing off on mission briefings for Ethan's team. That night, I drove home in silence. The tears came hard once I was alone. How many holidays had they smiled at me while secretly being ashamed? How many times had Mom introduced me to her friends as our daughter who works in an office, instead of telling the truth about my rank and responsibility? The pain turned into something sharper over the next few days. Anger. A deep, burning sense of injustice. I had spent years shrinking myself, trying to earn their approval, while they never even bothered to ask what I actually did. I didn't scream. I didn't cry to them. Instead, I did something much more powerful. 2 weeks later, we had another family gathering. This time, I invited a few close colleagues from the command, people who knew exactly who I was. When Mom and Dad asked why I brought work friends, I simply smiled. During dinner, one of the senior officers casually turned to Ethan and said, "So, how does it feel taking orders from your little sister these days?" The room went dead quiet. Mom's fork froze halfway to her mouth. Dad looked confused. Ethan turned red, but there was also a hint of pride in his eyes. I looked straight at my mother and spoke calmly, my voice steady for the first time in years. You called me the family embarrassment, Mom. But the truth is, I'm the one who makes sure your son and his team come home safely. I run the unit that plans their missions. I'm not the disappointment you think I am. I'm the reason he's still here. Mom's eyes welled up. For the first time, I saw real shame on her face, not for me, but for herself. She whispered, Carol. I had no idea. Ethan reached across the table and squeezed my hand. She's not just running it, Mom. She's damn good at it. One of the best we've ever had. That moment didn't erase the hurt. Nothing can completely wash away years of feeling small. But it did something better. It exposed the truth. I didn't need to destroy anyone. My revenge wasn't loud or cruel. It was quiet justice, letting the truth speak for itself. I stopped shrinking. I stopped apologizing for being strong, ambitious, and different. I stepped fully into my power. Mom has been trying to make amends. She's asking questions now. She's listening. Ethan and I have grown even closer. He tells his teammates proudly that his sister is the one keeping them alive. Looking back, I realize the deepest betrayal wasn't the whispered words. It was me believing them. If you're watching this and you've ever been made to feel like the embarrassment in your own family, hear me, your worth is not defined by their limited view of you. Sometimes the people who should love you the most are the ones who understand you the least. Keep going. Keep shining. One day, the truth will speak so loudly that even they won't be able to whisper anymore.